you are having a good day so far. Today, we'll be doing our grade 5 English lesson on coordinating conjunctions. So, we'll be doing our grade 5 English lesson on coordinating conjunction. And before we start our lesson on coordinating conjunction, you're going to log into aplusstudents.ca. Once you've logged into aplusstudents.ca with a username as well as a password, and then you're going to scroll down, we choose the subject, which is language arts, and then grade 5. Once you've selected grade 5, you're going to scroll down up until we get to the chapter of coordinating conjunctions. And when it comes to coordinating conjunctions, right? In our previous lesson, we also did coordinating conjunctions, right? So sometimes it will seem as if we are doing the same thing, but it is more a continuation of it because there can be a lot of lessons under the specific chapter. So with coordinating conjunction, we are going to read deeply into what a coordinating conjunction is. So our chapter is coordinating conjunction. Subject is English language arts. Grade 5. And the lessons that we are focused on is to identify and use coordinating conjunction. Because in our previous lesson, we also identified conjunction and we use conjunctions. So we are going to identify and use coordinating conjunctions. And we are doing our lesson on aplusstudents.ca. So if you want to go back, recap, go over the lesson, there we also have the chapter, grade, subject, as well as lessons on the specific whiteboard. All right. So remember, once again, this is a continuation of our previous lesson on conjunctions. So coordinating conjunction. A coordinating conjunction is a conjunction that connects words. So it either connects words or it connects phrases, right? Or it connects clauses. So it can connect words, phrases, and clauses that are coordinate or it's equal to each other. And there are 7 coordinating conjunctions, which is for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. But specifically for our grade, we do not use all of those. But the most common ones that we are also going to be using is, oopsie, is and, but, or, yet, and so. So that is going to be the 5 common conjunctions that we are going to be using, or that we use most often. So as much as there's 7 coordinating conjunctions, we mainly focus on the 5, which is and, but, or, yet, and so. And we see the coordinating conjunction is a conjunction that connects words, phrases, and clauses that are coordinate or equal to each other. So it is either coordinate or it is equal to one another. All right. So with a coordinating conjunction, right, we said it is words, phrases, and clauses that are joined together, right, or that is coordinate to each other. So basically, we can then say that it, like we say, it connects, and most times we use the word and or but to connect these two words. But now, during the course of this lesson, we're going to find out what each of those meanings mean. When do we use and, or why do we use and? When do we use both and why? When do we use or and why? When do we use yet and why, as well as so? All right, so now we see that this is on aplusstudents.ca. So this lesson is on aplusstudents.ca. If you want to go back, recap over certain lessons, then you can just check for the chapter is coordinating conjunctions, English language arts, grade 5, and the lesson is to identify and use coordinating conjunctions. So now we're going to aplusstudents.ca. All right, so we are going to recap basically and go over the lessons that we did in our previous lesson, right? If we go to using conjunctions, remember we said that our lesson is to use and identify and use coordinating conjunctions. So now we're going to use coordinating conjunctions. And coordinating conjunctions are used to connect words, phrases, and simple sentences. Some common coordinating functions are and, but, yet, or, and so. So that is the most common ones. That is the ones that we mainly use, as I mentioned earlier. We use and, right? So the word and. We use and to connect words, phrases, or sentences that go together or that are alike. Say the sentences that goes together or they are alike, then we use and to join those sentences. So we use and to connect the words, phrases, or sentences that goes together or alike. And an example, right? An example of and. My sister is going to France and Spain next year. So my sister is going to France and Spain next year. So it's basically also adding on and right? So these are words that either it goes together, right? Because it means that this specific person, let's say the sister, will be going to France and Spain either for visit, for pleasure, or for work. But either way, my sister is going to France and Spain this summer. I have a pet dog. So I have a pet dog. And my cousin does too. And that is how we added and in there. I have a pet dog and my cousin does too. So, which means that both of us have a pet dog. So, that is when we use and. Now we use but. We use but or yet. We use but or we use yet to show a contrast either between the sentences, the phrases, right? Words. We use but or yet to show a contrast. My brother loves apples, but hates apple pie. So, as much as he loves apples, he does not like apple pie. And that is where we added the but. So, my brother loves apples, but he hates apple pie. So, that is a contrast between that two phrases. Because a lot of people will assume that if you love apples, you're supposed to love apple pie. But clearly, we know that's not the case. And if we use the word yet, then we can say Aaron was excited for his performance, yet he still felt nervous. So Aaron was excited for his performance, yet he still felt nervous. So this means that Aaron was excited for his performance, right? And I mean, it is normal and natural to be nervous. So, as much as he was excited, he was very nervous. So, yet he was still nervous. We then use or to show a choice. Or mm. So, oopsie. So, or is a choice. So, it's either apples or it's pears. It's either black or it's white. So, it's like the choice is yours. Today, we can go to the beach or the park. So you can either go to the beach or decide to go to the park. That is where the coordinating conjunction or comes in. I or you can finish your homework now, or you can finish it after school. So that is the choices, right? It's like options. And we use the word or to show the choice, right? It's either we can go to the beach or we go to the park. It's either apples or it's pear. It's either red or it's white. It's either black or it's blue. But either or, that is why they say or is to show a choice. And then we also use so to tell that something happens because of something else. I forgot to set my alarm, so I was late for school. So it's like them asking, why were you late for school? I forgot to set my alarm, which means I overslept. So I forgot to set my alarm, so I was late for school. So something happens because of something else. I came late. Why? Because I forgot to set my alarm. That is what they mean when they say use to tell something happens because of something else. All right, let's do our activity. All right, so if we look at the sentence or the activity, we need to complete the sentence with the base conjunction, right? And remember, we said a conjunction is it joins words, phrases, or simple sentences. And some coordinating conjunctions are and, but, yet, or, and, so. So if we look at the sentence, is it Paco or Paco and his friends are going camping this weekend? They still need to buy a tent. So Paco and his friends are going camping this weekend. They still need to buy a tent. What coordinating conjunction can we add to complete that sentence? So Paco and his friends are going camping this weekend. They still need to buy a tent. So we need to use one of our common coordinating conjunctions, either and, but, yet, or so to complete that sentence. So to complete the sentence, we can then say Paco and his friends are going camping this weekend. but they still need to buy a tent, right? So, but they still need to buy a tent. It's a contrast that is being shown. So, as much as they are going camping this weekend, but they still need to buy a tent for the camping. So, but is our common coordinating conjunction within that sentence. Yes. My new tennis shoes were too snug. I exchanged them for a larger size. We need to choose best, the best. We need to choose the best, yes, conjunction to complete the sentence. So my new tennis shoes were too snug. I exchanged them for a larger size. So do we say, and I changed it for a larger size, but I changed it for a larger size, or I changed it for a larger size, or so I changed it for a larger size? So my tennis shoes were too snug. All right, so if we look at or we choose the correct coordinating conjunction, and then we can say, my tennis shoes were too snug. So I exchanged them for a larger size. So I changed them for a larger size. And so it tells us something happens because of something else, which means that I changed my tennis shoes because it was too snug. Sorry. So I changed my tennis shoes because it was too snug. Can you hear me now? All right. So we said, so Amanda wanted to buy a new hat. Amanda wanted to buy a new hat. She couldn't decide on a color. So Amanda wanted to buy a new hat. She couldn't decide on a color. We need to choose the correct coordinating conjunction in order to complete this sentence. So Amanda wanted to buy a new hat, couldn't decide on a color. So which common coordinating conjunction did she use to complete the sentence, or should we use to complete the sentence? Is it and, but, yet, or so? So Amanda wanted to buy a new hat. She couldn't decide on a color. So we can then say, but she couldn't decide on a color, right? So as much as she wanted to buy a new hat, she could not decide on a color or what color to buy. So we use the base conjunction, which is but, to complete our sentence. And but shows a contrast between these two, let's say these two simple sentences. Can you hear me now? So now let's go to our test, right? Can you hear me now when I okay. Awesome. All right. So now we're going to complete the sentence with the best conjunction. The audience couldn't hear Rosa, or she moved closer to the microphone, so she moved closer to the microphone. We need to choose the best conjunction to complete the sentence by either choosing or by choosing so. So the audience couldn't hear Rosa. She moved closer to the microphone. Do we say so she moves closer to the microphone, or do we say or she moved closer to the microphone? So what is the best conjunction to complete the sentence? Do we use or do we use so? The audience couldn't hear Rosa, or she moved closer to the microphone, so she moved closer to the microphone. All right, so if we complete the sentence with the best conjunction, we can then say that the audience couldn't hear Rosa, so she moved closer to the microphone. So is the correct or the best conjunction. Mrs. Burke was exhausted after work, or she took a nap. So we need to choose the best conjunction to complete the sentence. Mrs. Burke was exhausted after work, or she took a nap. So she took a nap. What is the best conjunction to complete the sentence? All right. So Mrs. Burke was exhausted after work. Then we can say, so she took a nap. So because she was exhausted, so she took a nap after work. Which type of stove do you want? Gas yet electric, gas or electric? Which one do you want? Do you want gas? Do you want electric? Do we use yet or do we use or to complete the sentence? So which type of stove does Maria want? Gas yet electric or gas or electric? So if we choose the best conjunction, we will say gas or electric, because she has a choice. It's either or it is electric. Paco and his friends are going camping this weekend, but they still need to buy a tent. So we need to choose the best conjunction to complete the sentence. So if we choose the best conjunction to complete the sentence, then we can say Paco and his friends are going camping this weekend, but they still need to buy a tent because they did not buy a tent as yet. So this is coordinating conjunctions, right? We said that the lesson that we are going to be doing is to identify and use coordinating conjunctions, right? And when we use coordinating conjunctions, okay, before we go to that lesson, let's just go back. So before we go to that lesson, when we use identify conjunctions, right, we then need to identify conjunctions based on, we said we use the most common ones. And the most common conjunction or coordinating conjunctions are and, but, or, so, and yet. And remember, there's a difference between subordinating conjunctions and coordinating conjunctions. And once again, a coordinating conjunction, it joins words, phrases, and it joins sentences, right? It also joins clauses, right? And we said the most common ones, there are 7, but the most common ones are and, but, or, so, and yet. All right. So we are now going to identify the conjunctions. And here the activity, basically the sentence is not given. So with identifying the coordinating conjunction, we use it. So now we're going to identify it. And by identifying it, let us go straight to our test. Remember we said our conjunctions are and, but, or, so, yet. So we need to now identify from these words the coordinating conjunction. So we need to select the coordinating conjunction. Do polar bears live in Antarctica or the Arctic? So if we select the coordinating conjunction, which one is the best or the correct coordinating conjunction? Do polar bears live in Antarctica or the Arctic? So which one is correct? Well, we need to select the coordinating conjunction. All right, so if we select the coordinating conjunction, then we can then say, do polar bears live in an Arctic or the Arctic? Meaning the best or the correct coordinating conjunction is or, because it's basically asking Antarctica or the Arctic. So or is our coordinating conjunction. So select the coordinating conjunction within, this is basically one sentence, but it is broken up. Was Alaska or Hawaii the last state admitted to the Union? So was Alaska or Hawaii the last state admitted to the Union? We need to select the coordinating conjunction within, let's say, basically the sentence. And if we select the correct coordinating conjunction, we can say or. Now they're asking, was it Alaska or Hawaii? So was Alaska or Hawaii the last state admitted to the Union? So or is our coordinating conjunction within that sentence. Cassie works nights and weekends at Patty's Diner. So Cassie works nights and weekends at Patty's Diner. What is the coordinating conjunction within that sentence or those words? We need to select the the coordinating conjunction. Cassie works nights and weekends at Patty's Diner. And if we select the correct coordinating conjunctions, we will say it is and. And is correct. So and is correct. All right, so now we are going back to the board where we are going to do an active on coordinating conjunction. So these are two sentences, right? And we are going to have to combine these two sentences. So two sentences can be combined by adding a comma and a coordinating conjunction, such as and, but, or, so, and yet. So we are going to now combine these two sentences by using a comma as well as a conjunction. Because remember, we said conjunctions, it joins either words, it joins simple sentences, it joins clauses, it joins, right? And when we join these words, phrases, simple sentences, right, or clauses, then we use the words and, but, or, so, and yet, and not forgetting our comma in front of it. All right. So if we look at the first one, it says we can go to France, we can go to Italy. So we need to now select the correct coordinating conjunction to join these two sentences. We can go to France, we can go to Italy. So we either need to use and, but, or, so, or yet. And if we select one of these coordinating conjunctions to join the two sentences, we can then say, I'm going to write it on the whiteboard. So then we can say number one is we can go to France, comma, or we can go to Italy. And remember, once you join these two sentences, right? And then we, for example, put comma as well as the coordinating conjunction, then it means that our full stop basically falls away because now it becomes a comma. And that word that was capitalized of the second sentence, it now becomes lower cases. All right, so now let's go to number 2. I'm going to use a different color. We were invited to the party. We chose not to go. So we need to choose the correct coordinating conjunction to join those two sentences. So what do you think might be the correct coordinating conjunction to join that two sentences? Is it and, but, or, so, or yet? So we were invited to the party. We chose not to go. And if we choose a coordinating conjunction to join this, then we can say but, right? So we can say we were invited to the party, comma, but we chose or we choose not to go, full stop. So basically, but is our coordinating conjunction. And in number one, or is our coordinating conjunction. All right, let's go to number three. Number three says, my parents work hard. We go on vacation every summer. So my parents work hard. We go on vacation every summer. We need to choose the correct coordinating conjunction. Is it and, but, or, so, or yet to complete that sentence, or basically to join that two sentences. And if we choose the correct coordinating conjunction to join those two sentences, then we can say, my parents work hard, comma, so we go on vacation every month. Sometimes it's so or and we go on vacation every summer. All right, let's choose the last one. Number 4. Let's choose brown. Okay, so now we're going to choose the last one, right? Where we need to, identify the coordinating conjunction. Let's go to number 8. The drinks were delicious. They were full of sugar. So the drinks were delicious. They were full of sugar. All right, so we can say the drinks, oopsie. The drinks were delicious, comma, but they were full of sugar, or yet they were full of sugar. Right? So that is the coordinating conjunctions. And we see the coordinating conjunction in this case, right? It joined the two simple sentences, right? And then by joining those two simple sentences, we added the comma as well as the coordinating conjunction to join those two sentences. And once again, a coordinating conjunction, it joins words, it joins phrases, it joins simple sentences, clauses, and we use the most common coordinating conjunctions, which is and, but, or, so, and to join those sentences, phrases, clauses, as well as phrases. All right, so that is now the end of our lesson, grade 5, on coordinating conjunctions. Thank you very much for joining the class, and thank you very much for interacting. You should have a good day further. Goodbye.